me, the club cycle is a whole different rhythm. Having coached college for a couple of years, you go recruit people, you bring them in, you've got them for 4 or 5 years. And so the relationship that you develop becomes a whole lot more intense, and you are seeing them in the most formative years of their life. And now you transition to club, and there's a tryout, and then you've got, it's just like boom, and it's gone, and it's over. And so I was kind of thinking about that, and how does that really impact? I mean, it impacts all the coaches. Rick, I think, has been a little bit more fortunate than some of them, having coached these kids and all you guys and see you grow up. And I basically get you for a year, and it's the last year in the club, and you're gone. And it's hard, because I know there's a whole lot more. I mean, I see what's in the future for you guys, because I've been in that role before, and it's exciting to see where you're going. The other part of this, I think Rick touched on, is it's not just about the volleyball part. And for me, this game's impacted my life in so many ways I can't even begin to tell you. And for me, it's the common experience. Whether it's driving 11 hours in snow to Indianapolis, why do we do that? We do that. But I guarantee you, when you come back and get together 20 years from now, you're not going to remember a single team you played in Indianapolis, but you're going to remember 11 hours in the snow driving to Indianapolis. Whether it was with your parents, with your teammates, or stopping to help hold your Keenan out of the ditch, or whatever it is. You're going to remember the common experience. That's the bond that you have. That's what you'll come back and you'll talk to each other about. That's the relationship that you've developed in this year. Some of you knew each other from club before, but every year at the 18s is a whole new deal. I mean, we're bringing people in from outside, there's people from other clubs, so it's not that long bond relationship, but it develops slowly over the course of the season. I'm excited for us going forward for the next 2 weeks, going into Orlando. I think, I'll just brag on a little bit, I think they saw what they're capable of doing, beating Lex United in Columbus, 3, a team that is probably one of the top 15, 18 teams in the country. I think they saw that when they do work together and pull together, that they're very capable of doing great things. And hopefully that's where our mindset is going for these last 2 weeks to finish out the season. That's kind of the last part of the season. That's where we are. This is the push for everybody who's going to Orlando, the whole club. Okay? And I think it is a group effort, that the uniforms and the numbers only delineate which part of the group you are. Okay? They do not separate you from the entirety of what the club is. We have had some challenges this year, losing our facility, but we haven't skipped a beat. I mean, everybody's coming to practice ready to go. The attitude hasn't been any different. The challenge for the seniors is you've got prom parties, and you've got graduation, you've got laureate, you've got senior trips. I mean, there's so many distractions. And now that school's over, this is the final push. This is where you have to put it out there, because now the volleyball part of it becomes a little bit more fun. You can focus on it and have a great experience in Orlando with your teammates. That's what you have to take from this. They'll always be your teammates. I won't tell you when I started playing, but I'm getting Facebook. The senior open, the open division of USA Volleyball Championships was just held in Orlando. And I get all these pictures. Oh, we just won the 55 and over. We just won the 60 and over. We just won the 65 and over division. This year in Orlando, there was a 72 and over division in men's volleyball. And I actually knew 2 of the guys that played. I played with them. They were my idols when I was a youngster. But that's what this game is. This is a lifetime endeavor. And the people you know now, the people you've enjoyed their company of, they will be your friends for a lifetime. They will be your teammates always. I can't tell you how many times I get a Facebook quote from somebody who went to the tournament, ran into somebody they hadn't seen in 20 years. It was like they saw him yesterday. Because the things you do together, you can't separate them from the common experience. Okay? So I'll leave you with that. Let's push through to Orlando. Let's have a great experience while we're down there. Let's have the best practice we can, including U17s. Okay? Let's have the best 2 weeks we can going down to Orlando and move forward. All right? It's been a pleasure to coach these young ladies and get to know everybody. 3 years into the club now, I feel like I'm actually getting to know people now. The first year was a little bit tough, but now I feel like I'm getting to know people, and I wouldn't be a part of this if it wasn't for you guys. I guarantee you, I could go work in the garden. I have enjoyed it. It's been a great season, and I'm excited about the next 2 weeks. No?
I told y'all earlier, I said y'all know how much I love you, and I enjoy coaching you guys all the time. I've had the pleasure of coaching a couple of them for a couple of years now, so it's been so much fun getting to know you and your families,
All right. Jeff, I think you have one other last.
Yeah, I got a couple closing thoughts. Parents, just remember of those great memories that they're going to have about that trip to Indianapolis in the snow. There's tangible value in that. As you think about getting the season-ending survey when that comes out, you can smile now. I'm trying to break that strain you guys been under. Okay, it worked. As we, as I talk a little bit, I mentioned the word strain. I mentioned in my comments that I think the kids that play their senior year, they have to have a belief that there's real value for them to do this. And I use the word conviction because I think it's a stronger word than belief. And to have that drive to want to do this and to see it through and to have the closure on a career like this, it says a lot about who they are as individuals. So I'm proud to see, again, another large class of kids valuing this experience enough, because there's a lot of people who contributed to you getting into this experience, but you were the main contributors to get here. You can only quantify the value and understand what that can do for you, and it really should be a leaping off point. I think in this generation, I'm a special ed teacher, and it's what I did for a living, and so I watched these generations move through, and closure seems to be hard. Finishing out what you start seems to be very hard. So it makes me more proud to have our girls be able to finish this way with such a solid group of kids on and off the court, as I said in my comments. And for me this year, it's been a challenging year. And for the kids I've coached in the past, they've probably heard me talk about the difference between strain and pressure. Pressure is normal and it's healthy, and strain is unhealthy and it's bad for you. And this year I probably added friction. And I think a coach gives athletes friction. It's a normal drive that you push a kid and you ask them to do a little bit more than they can think. And Rick and JB, I want to thank you guys, because as 18s coaches, you weren't afraid to create friction. And a lot of 18s coaches across the country won't create friction. They'll coast. And that really doesn't help closure. It really doesn't help you guys be challenged in your conviction. So I want to thank the coaches again, because I think friction is real life. There's always going to be a little bit in front of you that you're not sure you can handle, and then you overcome it and you're glad it was there. And this year, I went from, and I think our club went from friction to pressure, and there were times that I was in strain, and then there were times that these guys brought it back to pressure for me, because they were in the gym, because the Molt team was goofing off in the lobby, because the Mizuno team made fun of me not matching when I walked in the gym. So I want to thank you guys for that. To bring me back to why I do this is I appreciate the trust that parents offer a club, especially at this level and for this amount of time. Even if you're new to the club, to bring your daughter to this environment is not easy. I understand that. To stay in this environment and the competitiveness that we're trying to build is not easy. There is definite friction there. So I'm thankful for you parents for trusting us as a club, trusting our leaders, kids to actually have the value of what team sports has to offer you to see this thing through. I'm very thankful for everyone here. When we do get our building, there will be another class print, which will have all of our seniors. The print is here next to the cake if you want to check it out. I'd encourage our athletes there is one picture here that is yours to claim as a gift from the club for you in your walking papers. But lastly, you still have more work to do, as JB and Rick kind of hinted to. So I'm hopeful that the next 10 to 15 days brings the best from this experience out of you. Take the time to think about what you gained from this and also quantify what you lost. It's important you go through that process. Again, thanks Jennifer, Monica for your work setting this up, Carolyn and Abby, 17, Consumer team. Pastor Phil for coming out again. You'll be here at the table, Phil celebrating next year as a senior parent as well. So with that, again, I'll thank everyone for coming out and have a great evening. Thanks, guys.